Hey guys, so I just want to go and show you guys what I'm currently busy with. Currently busy with building these fluted drawer fronts, which is pretty cool. So what I normally do is I cut up pieces like this. That is 10 mil thick by 16. You can cut it basically to any size that you want as well, but that's the size that I'm currently using. Then I use my router bit, using a little round over, just to give it that profile, as you guys can see. So yeah, from that is cutting it down to the length of my board, so it actually can fit on there, which is cool. And then basically gluing and using my brad nailer. So the nail bits that I'm currently using, it's very small. It's about a 15 millimeters. So it just would go through this and it will go into my material. So yeah, what I do is basically I'm working from middle and then working outside. So get my halfway mark. I've already marked my halfway mark, and I'm mark this also in the half, so I can actually get my lining up properly. And then that is just basically sticking it on there with the glue, lining it up, pressing down. You will get some glue squeeze out, which you can just later on rub it off with a wet cloth, and that can also help. I'm taking my brad nailer and just nailing that in, and that gets stuck there, which is nice. I'm just going to wipe that excess glue off. At the end of the day, you don't have to go back and clean up and try and get that glue squeeze out and just dry it, take it off, because sometimes that will damage some of your wood, so you don't want that. My spacing that I use is basically the same width, so I will use two of these. So I have one piece go down. Let me bring you guys closer, you guys can see. So basically, having that spacer, take another part, and I glue that up. Spread that glue, and then stick it on there. Make sure that it's flush on both sides, and just give it a 2 nails, and then you can take that out and it gives you that space. Just remember cleaning up your workpiece so that glue squeeze out is always important. Just minimizes your thing at the end. You don't want that to actually cause problems for you. Getting that nice and glue up. With your spacer. Don't drop your spacers. There's that in there. Brad nail. So basically at the end you're going to just fill that up with some wood filler, and then that's away. Obviously if you do a clear coat on this, it's going to be a problem, but you don't want to do too much of a clear coat. I mean, it all depends on what you currently want. If you want to have that raw wood type of feel to it, then there's another method that you can do it. It's basically glue up, but then it's really a long process that you do it. You don't want to, you want to try and maximize your time in the shop. So you can stick it on with a glue, get your marks right up, glue that in, hold it down. You can, even if you want to, you can use some clamps. Your small little clamps, if you want to, you can do that. It all depends on what you want to do. And then you use a little bit longer nail. Obviously it depends on what your thickness of your board is that you are using. So this is for the draw front, so I've got a 22 mil that I'm using, and then with a 10 mil thickness of your flutes basically. So you just want to have that nailer go into this from the back, and then you can just put the filler at the back, sand it down nicely, and then you can hide basically this nails here in the front, and it still sticks, so it's cool. So yet again, spacer, glue, and then stick it on there. As you guys can see, that thing struggles to come out there, so I try to push it against the sides as far as I can. So yeah, that's basically how I'm getting my fluted panels. You can obviously, if you've got a bigger project that you're busy with, you can take this idea and go larger with it as well. It all depends on what you're currently busy with. So these are my drawer fronts that I designed. So this will go inside my fluted, my bedside tables. So basically what will go inside that opening that I've got is that 22 mil. So it will go inside, and I'll show you guys later if you guys are interested in seeing that. But yeah, so today is basically the drawer fronts, and then I'll be going over to making the drawers for it. I'll see how much time I've got, and then also go over to the making the tops. So that's basically on the final stretch of the assembling part of this bedside tables. If you've just joined, welcome. Let me know in the comments where you guys are watching from. If you've got any questions, ask away. I'll do my best to answer them as I go. Obviously, I also need to concentrate on what I'm doing. Not make a mistake where I put a brad nail through my finger. You don't want that. So I've got this total, it's the same as the Ingo, basically the sister brand of Ingo, which is nice. So that means it's got the same battery that it uses on the Ingo tools. So these batteries, obviously on my Ingo drill, it works on that. And then also it works on my Tokyo. So if you guys are interested in seeing or using these type of tools, they are very, very little to work with. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think on these type of designs. If you guys are enjoying these live videos, let me know. There you have it, all done and dusted. First one down, or well, third one actually for me, but first one on camera. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then I still got one to go. So yet again, halfway marks out, and then halfway on these things as well. So yeah, so these are my fluted designs. Let me know in the comments if you guys are woodworkers or just love seeing how wood pieces come to life. I would like to know your thoughts. What you guys are currently busy with. Are you at work? Are you just having a relaxed day? Yeah, let me know. So I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm doing. Let me just turn this camera around. Maybe from this angle, much better. You guys can see what I do. So just glue up, and this glue, I really like to use this normal cold glue. Really doesn't stick as much. This one really sticks. The wood glue, D3 water resistant. I love using it. It just also your gluing time that you have to wait is very less than waiting for cold glue to dry up before you can actually carry on with your project. So try to do it efficiently as far as possible. Just take that glue squeeze out. You don't want that. You really don't want that. And it comes out perfectly. And also when you did the wet cloth thing, it kind of gives you the material that it gets that wet pop to it. So when you go back again and you sand in between these things, it will give it nice finishing at the end. If you guys are finding this interesting, just remember, like this video, and so it can just be pushed out. Really appreciate it. And if you are not a subscriber, that also would help. If you become a subscriber, go watch my other videos. I do have other videos that I've made stuff and did stuff on. You guys are more than welcome to go and check them out as well. There's some pretty cool videos that I've done of a few jigs that I've made. If you're a cabinet builder, there's some cool things there as well. Let me know where you guys are watching from. If you guys are from South Africa, or wherever you guys are. I'm currently in South Africa. So yeah, let me know. Let me get another spacer. Okay. So I did leave a message on the description asking what color do you guys think I should go with this fluted bedside tables. I've done some of them in light grey in the past. So yeah, I just want to get you guys' ideas, what can work, what is the best option to go with these. Yeah, if you let me know, that would be great. So there, got all of my panels. So, and then you must always make sure that your nails has gone in. And then I just use my pine wood filler and just add that in there. So obviously I want to paint these, so you're not going to see these nails. And sanding afterwards is a process that I do not like. If you're a woodworker and you like sanding, I'm gonna ask you all, like, why. Sanding is therapeutic, and it takes time, but the end result is probably the worth it part. Why we sand for hours on end. It's taking this material from raw timber to making beautiful furniture. That's kind of the way to go for us as woodworkers. And that's it. From there on out, just waiting for that to dry, and then it can be sanded off. And you get that nice, awesome feeling of your material is looking good. So yeah, let me take you guys a bit to the other side again. Sorry if that makes you drunk. It would make me drunk. So yeah, that's kind of the ins and outs of the fluted design that I've got. It's been a good seller, so yeah, it's been a good seller. So if you are doing this as a hobby, or you're doing this to make money, well, let me know what you're currently busy with. You got a project that you're busy with and needing some ideas, let me know. We'll bring you guys in. So this is what I've done yesterday, is assemble these ones, my frames in, where my runners are going, the top supports. So yeah, and these ones goes basically on the inside. They will fit like that. I think that will be looking very nice. Yeah, and this has been done mainly out of raw pine. So yeah, pine wood is one of your softwoods, but also it's a cheaper wood, but not that cheap. So yeah, that's it. So I had my tops glue up yesterday. I was sitting overnight. That's my tops. So the glue up, as you can see, no overspills on the glue because I've cleaned it with a wet cloth. But where the clamps went, now these are stuck there, and all you need to do is take a, there's a trigger, that's just that. This is blunt, by the way. Scrape that off there. Is it nice? And I don't have big rolling sanders and stuff like that. I use a belt sander, so that we just smooth out all the extra bit. Because of the planer, you might, because you're pushing through material, it can cause a little bit of thickness issues, but that's why you just sand that down a little bit and get it. Hi, Loyens. I'll be pronouncing your name right. I am busy with making bedside tables. with fluted drawer fronts. So yeah, that's what I'm busy with. So these are my framework, as you can see. Pretty cool design. You can, at the end of the day, you can add in more to this. So I'm just making these with a single drawer, but you can also add in a shelf at the bottom piece for more storage space and stuff like that. So, where in the world am I? I am in South Africa. Where are you from? South Africa is my land, and then I am currently in Pretoria. So let me know where you are from. Nice, all the way from England. That's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. Well, glad you are joining us, or joining me here in South Africa, where currently it's sunshine, but it's cold. This winter is next level. Hi, sorry, I've got no idea what that name means, but yeah, welcome to the channel. If you guys are liking my content, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. SA is a crazy place, right? It's crazy, but I love it. It's a good place. Even though politic-wise and all that stuff, I think it can be crazy even anywhere else in the world as well. So it all depends on how you view what you do in that place. That's for me. I mean, the people are amazing here. I mean, if you really want to talk about South Africa and all these things, basically if you go to another country as well, it's the same thing, but just in a different point of view. It's really, yeah, it's really different. Yeah, the landscape is pretty cool. We've got really cool landscapes here. Yeah, so I mean, if you're really into hiking and those type of things, crazy places that you can go and hike here. I mean, if you go down Cape Town or the Drakensberg and that type of places, yeah, it's really amazing places. Before we moved this side to Pretoria side, we were staying in the KZN area, KwaZulu Natal. Beautiful place, but hot. So that's why I'm not used to this type of weather this side, but the people are great this side as well. Yeah, let me get going on the drawer front, the drawer boxes. I want to get some materials, so I'll be with you guys. Okay, so you carve greenwood bowls and spoons. Oh, nice, man. That's pretty cool. Like carve it by hand, or do you use like a lathe, or what is your method that you're using? Oh, sorry, my thing just flagged your message saying this is held for review, but now I'm seeing it. Let me just with an axe and knife traditional way. Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. Do you also do videos on this, on how you're doing it? Yeah, probably because you said knife. Yeah. Seems like they want to make sure that YouTube is like having serious guidelines on there's a serial killer out there and stuff like that. Yeah, it does take ages because I mean, axe and knife. I mean, that's like. But I mean, you can film it in such a way probably that you're clipping out your parts that are very important in the creating of this all these spoons and bowls. So yeah, it's amazing. All the way from England, amazing. So with these, sorry, you also do live streams. Oh man, that's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, that is dedication of sitting with a knife, carving something out. I think I would go crazy if I have to do something in that sense. But I mean, everybody's got their talents. So yeah, let me get back to making these drawer boxes. So what I'm going to be currently just doing is chopping up my pieces into depth of my bedside tables or nightstands or pedestals or whatever you want to call it. Chopping that up. So, and it also then I'll add in these runners. So I have to do my calculations and get my sizes out and then cut it up and to just make sure that I've got my thickness, because this is a bit too thick for my drawer fronts that I want. This is a 22 mil. I want to go down to about a 16 mil. 16 mil is for me a good number to work on, especially on the inside of the cupboard, giving it a little bit more room space for putting the stuff in. Am I selling my work? Yes, bro. I am selling my work. So it's just part of what I do. So I've built a couple of things where these bedside tables and pedestals has been a good seller, but I also do like entrance tables and stuff like that. I also do like the kitchen cupboards and renovations of that as well. But yeah, so it all depends on what workflow comes in. If I don't have any workflow that comes in, I normally just build things. That's what I do. And do you also sell your furniture or your bowls and spoons? So, really nice, but closer to what I'm doing currently. So, I've got my one piece, 300 deep. That's my drawer front, my drawer box size to the depth, and then I'll work at my middle pieces. And I'll show you guys what I also do is just cut in a groove to put the piece of masonite in it. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, man, just carry on, keep on doing what you're doing. Doesn't matter how long you've been working doing these things. It all comes down to what you produce. Yeah, I've got a very nice setup. Let me give you a little bit of a tour to this. Let me show you guys. So I've got this nice little big table. Try to build it myself, but it's okay. It does the thing. So nice little big table where I can actually sit and do my work on. I've got some shelves up where some of my tools are there at the back. I've got my clamps set up there. Then on this side, I've got my planer, my bench planer, which is very nice because they roll, so you can lacquer feed them. I made myself an outlet where I can hook my little dust collector on. So yeah, that's basically my setup for that. And then I've got this cool machine that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in one basically. So it's got my spindle machine that can set up, and it all runs on one motor. So I can use my table saw. I've got a thicknesser planer, and I also got a thing to make tenons. So there's a piece that comes out here that I can add in to that also. So yeah, nice little setup this as well. And then I've got my Triton table saw, which also the top can come off, the machine can come out, and it can turn into a router table. So yeah, that's basically a little tour of my shop, which single garage, but it's fine, it works, it does the things that it needs to do. I will thanks man. Yeah, so I will show you also like how as you can see, where it was a rough cut by the mold, basically, to get that nice and clean with the table saw. I did a video on that as well, but while we are on here on the live, I'll show you what I do. Let me actually take you to it. So, just give me a sec. I just want to set up my dust collecting strategy thing here, so I can actually take the sawdust out my way. Well, depends also what people actually want, but mainly I use pine because it's on the cheaper side of the materials. But obviously with your melamine and your superwood and those type of things, that obviously changes if you're going with sheet material, not planks. But the entrance table that I recently built, I built out of Meranti. So Meranti is very expensive, but also it's a very soft wood, so it does give you that nice finish that I like. Okay, so let me show you this simple method. So this melamine, doesn't matter the thickness, just make sure it's a nice and long piece for your workbench, for your table saw. And what I do is basically cut straight pieces, and then the blade width I take off on the one side, but not right through. As you can see, it's not right through, so it stops at a certain point. So you push your thing through and get to a certain point, and then put your machine off, take it out, and then you flip it around. That flip, go back into that piece. And you clamp it down. Just so it doesn't move away. That's basically why I clamp it down. But yeah, so you do that. I just want to set this a little bit more. So, and that it gives you an edge on the one side. Just take that. That gives you an edge. You see, my piece is like along this side. So it gives you an edge where you can actually cut on that little piece, and at the end, when it goes through, it rides onto the other wall basically. So it gives you that flush trim. So I'll be starting this up, so it will be making a noise. That's how you do a straight edge. Very straight. So that is if you don't have a jointer, you can do that method as well. But obviously I do have a jointer thicknesser, also a spindle that was pretty cool. Let me see if I can flip this around. So this spindle has got a straight edge to it as well, and I hook up this to the spindle, and then you can adjust these sides, where I just put in a little bit of a strip in there, and then it gives you that little edge that it can run on your material afterwards. So yeah, but the spindle, let me show you. I do have some cool bits here that I haven't tried out yet. I have tried out, so this one has got the slot in it, and then this side has got the groove where you can, so that in essence will make you the two grooves part, and that also can be used to join at the end of the day. Yeah, I think I know what I'm doing. You don't always know what you're doing, but that's part of part of the journey of being a woodworker. Is making things, designing things. I mean, you should know as well. So I mean, you're not always going to be 100% sure how your bowl will come out or your spoon will come out. At the end of the day is you got this idea and you're doing it. So yeah, it's also knowledge learned over the years doing woodwork. So yeah, it's part of being creative, I guess, creative brains and stuff to actually do things with your physical hands. So I want to cut up these things that I just now did, trimmed up. I'm going to cut them up into the sizes that they need to be for my drawer boxes. Yeah, no, that's correct. You need to flow, especially if while you're working with natural materials. So yeah, natural materials has always got this knot in here and it's got this thing there, and you're trying to figure out like, how am I actually going to do this? Okay, back on machines. Alrighty, so back at these forefronts. So yeah, I need to get this down to 16. I think let me get back to making more sawdust. I'm thinking this option. Taking you my bench planer today. You like the design? Yeah, I also like it, obviously. It's a really cool design. And this fluted design seems like it's doing well here. I'm not sure exactly in other countries if that is also doing well, but I'm guessing it's a trend that's there. Let me just move you a little bit more out the way because I need to get my setup. Don't judge my setup of dust collecting. If it works, it works. about to say something. I better be quiet. It is what it is. It's just the setup because I have to constantly move it this way, that way. It's just part of the setup. Okay. Trying to get my train of thought. What I need to do. Yes, that would be cool. That would be really cool. I don't know. Let me see if I can do something. Okay. Alright, so I just follow your Loyans Fix It shop, so just get onto that channel and I can just get you there. Cool. That would be amazing, man. You guys let me know. cool. Yeah, I'll hook you up on your channel. And then we can check how we can go from there. Okay, man, that would be amazing. So yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate for the sub. I really appreciate it. You can really meet interesting people around the world. That is amazing. So I'm just gonna go with the last little thing, show you how I do a draw wash, and then I'm gonna end this live. And then I'll probably check in sometime again. Might do one tomorrow. Depends on how far I'm actually gonna get today. But yeah, these builds have been lacquer doing this. It's now the third day that I'm doing this live. But yeah, probably by the end of this day, the boxes will be done and everything will be done, and it's just then painting afterwards. So yeah, well, final sand, paint. Yeah, let me show you. Now it's going over to my Triton, and basically what I'm going to do is cut a groove along that section where the masonite can go in, and then glue, and then nail gun, brad nail. So yeah, but then obviously going from shorter nails to longer nails. Let me just do my setup for that machine as well. They say if you do have a workshop that you're working in and you're not walking that much, then you're not working. So in this workshop, small as it is, I do walk a lot. So it's then plug in this, plug in that, then it's move this, move that, and it's, yeah, that's the fun of having a shop. So let me take you to this. So fence up my Triton, the blade. Let me rather take you out this for now. Show you my setup. So literally it's sticking out like 5-10 mils, well, not even 10 mils, but like 5-6 mils. It's sticking out. Fence is about another 12 or so that I'm doing it. Especially for these ones, I'm just doing it kind of small, and that's gonna cut tiny little groove in there. I've already pre-assembled or pre-cut, not pre-assembled, pre-cut my home mason nut strips with the previous tables that I've built. I've kind of went out on the limb and just made some more. So yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to run these through and again through, and that will just give me a nice clean groove into this whole pieces. That's a very cool little groove in there. And that's for the mason knife. Just another thing that I realized. I hope my sizes that I've got previously is going to fit into this. Yeah, so sometimes measurements tend to go off, but it's one of those things. Cool, thanks man, I appreciate it. I'm trying to do these lives and also just explain what I do and how I process what I do, kind of just to give people out there who's also building things and looking for new ideas and stuff. I hope this can help others also. I mean, if it means that someone uses my ideas and they create something else completely different, but still in that category of things, then I'm glad that I can help. Yeah. So let's see my measurements. It's not too wonky. It seems like it's going to be fine. So I'm just going to do a dry fit, as they call it, just to see. And it seems like it's perfect. So basically what I do then afterwards is these small ones that goes on the inside of the drawer boxes. I give it some glue. That is all just to kind of strengthen this whole thing. I like using glue a lot to do my work, because it just helps strengthen your project at the end of the day. So what I'll do is I'm just going to take my 15 mils out and replacing them with about a 30, I think this is a 32, but I mean you can go 35, 38. So yeah, go there on as well. And then don't make this mistake that I have done a couple of times. Always make sure where your groove is and where your glue up groove is, that you line that up there very nice, because otherwise your groove might sit on this side from the one and the other one on the other side. I've done it a couple of times and yeah, not a good look. So yeah, I'm just taking that and basically clean off that more glue. You might get some glue stuck there on the inside. I mean you can remove it or not, but I leave it there because once my masonite goes in, it can actually just glue up a little bit more. So I like to do the middle pieces and then the side pieces to this thing. So it means the shorter parts I like to do first, because then I can have a place where I can do both sides and it can go kind of straight. Yeah, just trying to get everything flush before assembling with the brad nailer. I'll give it about a three nails. I mean you can go for whatever the case might be, depends on your decision that you want to do. But yeah, that's kind of the way to go. And then masonite is literally just gonna slide in there. And you'll see still got that lip on the one side for the last little bit, the last piece. That is basically it. The last little adjustments, make sure everything is flush. You have it. Draw box finished. This is making sure your piece is square. Obviously, when this thing goes in, you want to make sure while it's still wet, your draw box with the wood glue, that everything is lining up perfectly. That if your draw box is kind of skew or whatever the case might be, and you're trying to get that runners in, and you struggle. Oh, thanks, Madeleine. That is my wife, Lorenz. That's my wife, Madeleine. So yeah, she likes to come and check up on me, just to make sure that I'm doing my work. So yeah, that slides inside there. So you always want to make sure for your runners there's enough space. Obviously I've got 2 runners now here with a box, just to make sure everything fits in, not too tight, but also, yeah, just very nice setup to get your runners pulling out and closing much easier. But okay, that's it for me for today. I'll be checking you guys again, and I'll check you soon. Yeah, cheers.